Hello, welcome. So Christina here with Primal Coding, and in today's video I want to talk about the Wim Hof breath, its benefits and when to use it, and what area of the breath we are working with, and then how to balance out that breath. And we'll talk about all that. So first, let's talk about what this sympathetic, is what I call it, just like a heightened type of breath is. So I have less spaces between each breath, each cycle of breath. So an inhale, a pause, an exhale, and a pause. But in this case, there is no pause. So it's going to look more rapid. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, rather than inhale, exhale. So the rate of the breath increases. And when we increase the rate of the breath, whether it's through the nose or through the mouth, it's going to stir us up, stir up the nervous system, maybe increase the heart rate, blood pressure maybe a little bit, and it's going to maybe sharpen our focus. I'll utilize it in the morning before I take a cold shower. I'm not drinking any coffee, so these are the type of things that I use to give my body energy, this type of breath. So more specifically, it's about 30 seconds or 30 breaths of this breathing rate. And if you go like past that and do it for several minutes, that's getting into more rebirthing, holotropic breath work, pranayama yoga, which you can research on your own. But for this, the area that Wim Hof focuses on specifically is inhaling as much air as you can and then relaxing with the exhale. So we are stopping at this end of the exhale, inhaling, and then relaxing down to here. So notice there's this whole space too, this exhale volume. We're not engaging with the exhale volume. So this video is brought about because I recently did a lecture at a fire department, and this was one of the questions: when should I utilize the Wim Hof breath? And really, for everybody, it's different. You know, is your job a fire or police officer, and you are in high stress situations all the time? That would be different than if you have a more relaxed type of life, maybe day job or maybe no job, whatever it is. I would utilize it at different times for different reasons. For the fire and police populations, let's go specifically fire because that's when the question was asked, or who was asked by. If I am constantly being signaled to get into alert and to get into a sympathetic state, I don't think it would be very beneficial to do that during their 24-hour shift or your 24-hour shift. So I'm already doing this with my breath, getting it up into a sympathetic state. So during my job, when I am at work, I want to oppose that state and maybe work on my tidal volume, my soft breaths. All right, the balancing out the CO2, and if I'm always in this heightened state, I probably have a little bit larger breathing volume. So that can be even just a simple small box breath. The Buteyko method would be working with this state also, and I'll talk about that in just a moment, because that Buteyko method works with this bottom exhale, but I call it the other end of the spectrum of the Wim Hof breath. Also, so when you are done with it, so you're doing the 30 breaths, and you're kind of releasing a lot of CO2. And that's why you kind of tend to start to get a little tingly, start to feel some sensations. We're releasing CO2. And the ways that you can increase CO2 with the breath is holding your breath. So either at the top of the inhale, here, so inhale, hold, or I can exhale the air out naturally and hold out the exhale. Just till I inhale, and then exhale, let the air fall out, and hold. That's this space right here. It's a very nice, calm space to hold the breath, because when we do have a practice of breath holding, you want to make sure that you also are staying calm and not tensing up, because that could have some negative effects on the physiology, which ultimately affects our feelings, our emotions, and our behaviors. So, back to the Wim Hof. If I am on my day off and I have a moment to do this breathing pattern, but I have like 30 minutes to just sit with it, hold my breath, do 3 rounds without rushing. Then I can lay there for about 15 minutes, integrate the work, and finish the spectrum of the experience of the heightened sense of invigoration that the breath can bring, and then that in opposition, that really calming, deep, soft space that it can bring me to. I think that is when it would be best utilized for somebody who is constantly on alert. Again, so during the day when you are at work, this could be also for nurses and for police officers, any high-stress job, focus on, again, the small, soft breaths. What is the demeanor that I want to project to the world? Do I want it to be calm and soft and approachable, and I can use my facial features to speak to somebody, use my eyes? If I'm stressed, I can't do that. If I'm stressed, I will be heard in my voice. It will be seen in my reactions to people around me. So knowing what your practices are, so the Wim Hof, and knowing that it'd probably be great to balance it out with a exhaling practice, so lengthening your exhale, engaging with the exhale. And that will balance it out so you're not constantly here. I actually recently had a client or a friend of mine who had just done this breath, and he was wondering why his core strength didn't feel as solid as he thinks it should be. And when I assessed his breathing pattern, I noticed he had no neurological capability in that moment to connect his exhale with core engagement. He had kind of lost it. He gained it back very, very quickly. It's all remembered, but we just need to consciously repeat the action. So Wim Hof breath, you can try it at any time. Test it out. Test out that type of breathing pattern and see how it affects you and it affects your day. This is really just a beautiful exploration, and we are the test smarties, the test dummies, test smarties. So thank you for joining me today. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the comments section. I will be glad to answer. So thank you. See you next time.